This is Orla FM.
A warm welcome to my world, Walker's World on Orla FM. I'm Peter Walker, and we're going on a trip into the weird and wonderful, but true, well, probably true, tales on Walker's World. On my show, we look for the most amazing, often ill-documented, connections involving Polish people across history. It's June, and at the end of the month, Wimbledon kicks off. I really mean that tennis players serve the first balls at the world-famous Wimbledon International Tennis Tournament. Did you know that there's a good chance for at least one Polish player to do well? Did you know that there were some Polish war heroes who were internationally famed players? So I tell you about some of the Poles who have contributed to this popular sport. But not everyone likes tennis. Sir Francis Bacon wrote, "Tennis is a game of no use in itself." These words appeared in his book, The Advancement of Learning, but that was 400 years ago, long before modern lawn tennis, Wimbledon, and the advent of Polish tennis players. And this year, there's a rising Polish tennis star, Iga Świątek, a woman of this century, because she was born in 2001. Her father was a keen sportsman, and he had represented Poland in the men's quadruple sculls rowing event in the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games. Her sister Agata had briefly played tennis competitively, but injuries forced her out of the game. So Iga kind of took over, and in the year 2015 she started to compete in International Tennis Federation events. She soon made her mark. In the following year she won the Grade 1 Canadian Open Junior Championships. She continued to play well in various competitions, but there was a setback. Perhaps you feel as I do, that athletes often suffer serious injuries, and Iga was no exception. She was out of action for 7 months in 2018 due to an ankle injury, but she came back in style. It was time for Wimbledon, and she won the Junior Grand Slam singles title. What an achievement! But she was growing older, like the rest of us, and she left the juniors behind. In the years 2016 to 2018, Iga entered 7 International Tennis Federation finals, and she won every one. She was now ranked as being within the top 200 women players in the world, but there was more success to come. That ranking improved after Iga won the Italian Open in 2021, and she became within the top 10. She won the Women's Tennis Federation tournaments at Qatar and at Indian Wells, and she became number 2. When the number 1, Ashley Barty, retired in April this year, Iga became number 1. Watch out, Wimbledon. Her coach is Tomasz Wiktorowski, who also coached Agnieszka Radwanska, another successful Polish tennis player who also played at Wimbledon. Although she is only in her early 30s, she has retired from professional tennis. Agnieszka was nicknamed Aga, and her father introduced her to tennis when she was aged just 4. Just over 10 years later, when she was in her mid-teens, she competed at Wimbledon, and in 2005 she won the junior singles title. Agnieszka then progressed to adulthood. In 2007 she competed in the Nordic Light Open. She won, and she became the first Polish player in history to gain a Women's Tennis Association Tour singles title. She followed that up with winning the Eastbourne International. She didn't win everything, of course, and in 2010, during the China Open, she suffered a stress fracture in her foot. By then she was in the elite top 10 women players in the world. Formidable. She recovered, and there was some family rivalry too, because in the first round of the US Open she faced Urszula Radwanska. Her sister lost. There was more success for Agnieszka in the year 2012, when she again visited Wimbledon. She managed to get to the final, where she lost to Serena Williams. She was nevertheless the world number 2. In the following year, Polish President Bronisław Komorowski presented her with a Gold Cross of Merit. Agnieszka continued to play until 2018, when she announced her retirement. She has had injuries, and she stated on Facebook that she was not able to push her body to the limits required. So is that the end of her tennis? No. This year she will be appearing at Wimbledon in the Women's Legends doubles. Agnieszka and indeed Iga are not the only Polish competitors at Wimbledon. There are legendary players before the Second World War. They not only had sporting challenges, because the war added a few more. There was, for example, Ignacy Tłociński, who in his late teens played so well that he became a member of the Polish Davis Cup team. He became the Polish national champion, and he reached the third round at Wimbledon 4 times. He sometimes played in mixed doubles with Jadwiga Jędrzejkowska. They would partner again during the Second World War, when he was reported missing and supposedly in Latvia. He was really working in a Warsaw cafe with Jadwiga Jędrzejkowska. He participated in the Warsaw Uprising of 1944, and he was wounded during a successful attack on some SS barracks. Ignacy, wartime name Igo, was interned as a prisoner of war camp and eventually came to the UK. He did not give up tennis and represented Poland in the immediate post-war period until the new Polish government made that impossible. Igo continued to compete, and in the early 1950s, for 3 years running, won the Scottish Hard Court Championships. He retired from competitive tennis in 1955, although he did some coaching after that. What an eventful life! Polish tennis stars are good at eventful lives, and Wojciech or Wojtek Fibak from Poznań is no exception. He won his first tournament in 1976 when he was aged 24. In the following year he was ranked as the world's number 10 in the singles ranking. In 1979 he was ranked number 2 in the doubles, the year after he and Kim Warwick won the Australian Open men's doubles. He too competed at Wimbledon and in 1980 reached the quarterfinals. His competitive tennis career ended in 1983, although he popularised the sport in Poland during the 1990s when he was head of the Polish Tennis Federation. In contrast, if you visit Warsaw, you may come across Galeria Fibak, his art gallery specialising in Polish contemporary art. For excitement, at the end of June, there is tennis at Wimbledon. Tennis is fun. Will there be any other new Polish tennis stars? Will Iga win? Come on, Iga! I'm Peter Walker, and next time I will return to the weird and wonderful. Join me again for Walker's World on Orla FM.